I agree. I think that everybody is in a journey to find peace, but I think that there is so much going on in people's mentality
Or
and people's experiences in life that finding internal peace becomes a challenge to others only because only because people get lost in their own brain based on the present experiences that they get in the moment. So for example, if you are trying to find peace and then you go through and then you go and then you experience a negative experience in that moment, like where did your peace go? So ultimately, I think that what people really seek for, it's not just finding peace, but I think that what people really search for, it's how do I continue the state of being in peace regardless of what happens
you know,
in our everyday life.
people tend to caught up in the emotion, right? It's easy.
It's easy to do that. People are very reactive, and I think that we think that they're being reactive towards us, but I truly do believe that they're being reactive towards their own personal nervous system.
Yeah. Very sensitive to
Like
what people consider.
it's I mean, and I generally do think that it's a trauma response. I generally do think that it's a trauma response that people react to what activates their nervous system, and they don't know how to respond to a situation. So the easiest thing to do is to be angry, or the easiest thing to do is to um I'm gonna make you feel whatever it is that I feel so that you can also feel pain. So it's almost like trajected, what's the word? Not transmuting, project.
Project.
Exactly. So the question is, how does everybody find peace in the world? I genuinely do think the world would be such a better place if people genuinely do listen to their intuition.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think that your intuition is your soul guiding you to what you're supposed to do on earth. That's like your map road. You know, we have a spirit that tells us, that connects all of us, because the spirit is the universe. Do you know what I mean?
Totally agree with you.
It connects with all of us, exactly. But then we have a soul, and a soul is what makes us unique. The soul is what makes us it's what leads you, it's what helps you lead through the world and maneuver through the world, so it gives your presence, it gives your body a destiny, you know, and lessons to be learned from that. So I think that recognizing that you are not in control of how people react to you and what people do, but you are in control of how you respond to the situation is generally how you find peace. And normally that comes from a state of being, like you said.
Yeah,
that generally that comes from reading books, meditating, you know, surround yourself with positive, exactly, putting yourself with positive people, surrounding yourself with people that embraces the journey that you're going towards, like embracing the journey that you're traveling towards, but also they don't trigger your nervous system. Do you know what I mean? Being surrounded by people that complement,
yes.
like, what, you know, who it is that you are and what it is that you're working towards. I think that is an entry. I'm not saying overall, but I do believe that is an entry to finding peace. Do you know what I mean? Because you are, you know what they say, you are who you hang around, you are, you know, what you eat, you are the people that, no, you are what
Only thing.
exactly. You are everything that you accept in your circle.
All about perception.
It's all about perception.
I don't want to hurt myself, of course. So we need to consider like you as me. I need to see you as I'm seeing myself. So
but that's predominantly what it is, because we are all a projection of something. You know the project. You know what's funny? You know the projecting machine that you have that you put onto the wall or you watch movies. The projector is what people are. Do you know what I mean? And the film that we see on the wall is what they transmit into other people.
They're basically the same,
because they have their own idea of, you know, they have their own graphics.
That's an analogy.
Oh, I think they have their own graphics, they have their own colors. Everybody has their own graphics, their own color. They have how they will transmit into texture, everything. You know what I mean? And then it becomes how your consciousness is, and it becomes how your mind works. And that's basically how it is. That's how people maneuver through life. That's how it is. And so if we start taking accountability for how we project, that's ultimately how we would find peace.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Great.
Each person taking accountability to their own area, to their own, do you know what I mean? That's ultimately how we will find peace.
I totally agree.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.